We got a lot to talk about tonight with Chuck Schumer. Lots going on. The purple senators here in Nevada. Chuck Schumer, Democrats want him gone. Just separated the party once again. Democrats have lost again. They continue to lose. Come on in. Hello, Labs. A little late on this Monday. Dustin Nunez, how are you? Good evening. Appreciate it. Hello, wife. How's Puerto Rico? Late in Puerto Rico. Late. Chuck Schumer, Democrats want him fired. He lost again. He says he cares. He says he cares about the American people. He cares so much about these young air traffic controls who missed not one check, 2 checks, 3 checks, 4 checks. And a lot of them are new that don't make that kind of money yet. How about the people on SNAP benefits? It backfired. It backfired on Chuck Schumer. And the Democrats, they want him gone, Lemon J. Hello, good evening. And we're going to talk about that. And also, my phone's blowing up. Are we going to get this $2,000? They're calling it a stimulus. It's not a stimulus check. Well, I guess you could say it's a rebate terrorist check. Are we going to get it? Well, it's looking, we're going to have to stay tuned and alive. It's looking promising. It's looking good. And then I'm going to ask the question, if we get $2,000, what would you do with it? Would you put it down paper? Would you knock out some of your mortgage? Would you donate some of the money? What's your thoughts? Or maybe not accept it and build back down some of the deficit? We're going to talk about that in our live and a little bit more. So it came down to here in Las Vegas, well, Nevada, as the 2 senators here, Democrats, Senator Mastro and Jackie Roseland, who just won barely, they say they're purple. We're a swing state now. Well, we're leading red. They're Democrats. They said, no, we couldn't go any longer. We can't have this. So majority of Democrats, for the exception of Bernie Sanders and AOC and Gavin Newsom, they've lost their mind. They just tore the whole party. They've lost. The Democrats have lost. I'm going to call it right now. They have lost their seats. 41 days, the longest shutdown over what? Obamacare that does not work, ladies and gentlemen. It's high premiums. We talked about this last night. Now, the government shutdown, what's it mean? Well, they can vote again in January, but right now for the immediate future through the holidays, now Trump's got to sign off for it. We're going to listen to Trump right here, what he has to say. Should we listen in to Trump? Let's listen in to Trump. Let's turn the camera around, and we'll listen in to what Trump has to say.
In return, they're promised a future vote on Obamacare subsidies. The bill still has to clear the House before it reaches President Trump's desk. And here's what the president had to say.
We'll be opening up our country very quickly.
Mr. President, that deal does reverse the mass firings your administration put through during the shutdown. Did you sign off on that, and will you abide by that if this passes?
Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good.
Even though Schumer voted no, the knives are out. Progressives are turning him into the scapegoat for a deal that doesn't lock in any guarantee on Obamacare subsidies. Lawmakers like Seth Moulton and Ro Khanna are calling for Schumer to be replaced.
Replace him.
Airing out their grievances with the bipartisan deal.
Oh, I think this whole thing stinks. And I think most members of the House caucus on the Democratic side are absolutely outraged.
We'll continue that fight today, tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, next month, this.
Okay, so let's pause it right there. They want to fight. See, it's all about fighting, right? It's all about fighting Donald Trump, right? And who loses? All of us, right? Because most of us know that this Obamacare is not working. And by the way, the Medicaid and the big, beautiful bill one, it never said, see, this is where they don't read the bill. It never said they were taking away SNAP benefits or taking away Medicaid. Never. It's a lie. Okay? They just want to encourage people to work about 20 hours. And we're going to get in a $2,000 rebate check. I call it a rebate check. Now, Bernie Sanders, I quote, says 50,000 people will pass away because of not having Obamacare or getting rid of it. Or there's no evidence at all. Welcome in, guys. I'm Sal Capano. Appreciate the likes and subscribing, where we talk a lot about Trump and MAGA. And I tell it as it is, and I've called Trump out many times. And we're going to get into what both parties need to do about helping out healthcare. Now, there's no proof or evidence. Bernie Sanders, old man, he should be retired as well. Chuck Schumer too. That, where does it say that people will lose their lives? They're not taking away Medicaid. It doesn't say it on there at all. How do you know 50,000? Think about this. This is how stupid the Democrats are. How do you know 50,000 people will lose their lives without having first of all, people are still going to have Medicaid, right? Seniors will have Medicaid. It's just encouraging people that can work to work, just like in SNAP benefits. It's just a bunch of lies. If the Democrats cared, they would have never let the shutdown happen, and they would have worked on helping and reforming Obamacare. See, they could have came together and said, okay, we want to keep Obamacare out. By the way, Nancy Pelosi's the one behind it. And let's work on lower premiums and add in more health care. And now the Republicans, on the other hand, and Donald Trump, we talked about this last night, they could have been working on competition and different healthcare system savings plan. So both failed on that. But the Democrats are the ones who lost because there's so many people out there with TSA who had to go find other jobs, and they're going to get paid. They had to borrow money, take a loan out, refinance their house to get paid. Because a lot of them could miss 1 week. But this went on for 40 some days, 41 to be exact. So who lost? Chuck Schumer. The hate, and you hear him, the hate. But you know what? The purple states won. 8 Senate voted, open it up here in Nevada. The party's split. The Democrat Party is split. If you're a Democrat, it's split. 0% chance to win the House in 26, and only a 5% chance to win the presidency in 28. I'm telling you right now, it's over for a long time because of the fighting. They fight instead of coming up with ideas on how they can do better, just like the tariffs. So now we're going to get into the $2,000 rebate because there's a lot of YouTube channels out there making like it's a done deal. It's not a done deal. Trump has mentioned it on the reporters. There's a possibility because we made 142 was it $1 billion on tariffs already, or $1 million, excuse me, on tariffs. So it is working. Not enough to erase income tax, but it is working. 100% working. But again, the Democrats have lost their mind. Chuck Schumer, you hear it from them, their own party, he needs to be fired. He's one spiteful son of a bitch. Excuse my language. He's awful. Worse than Nancy Pelosi. Way worse. And that's why the Democrats have lost. I'm calling it right now, he won't make it through the week. He's a horrible individual who just stands up and continues to fight the Republicans and Donald Trump on every issue and has no clue, just like Bernie Sanders making those remarks. The Democrats have lost. People are going to die. 50,000 people are going to lose their health care. All right. So he voted no. He voted no. What an awful, what we're witnessing right now. We got one of the greatest presidents that we have ever had fight for you and I and our families the best he possibly can. And Chuck Schumer shuts down the longest shutdown ever. Now, in January, it'll go back on the table once again. And it'll be all over again. Hopefully Chuck Schumer will be gone. Hopefully the Democrats and somebody will step up. Because they're not going to put up with it. You could see right here, they voted to open it back up. Their own party. Even those who don't particularly like what Trump is doing, they know behind closed doors, ladies and gentlemen, that Trump has the right thoughts on how helping us out. Once again, the Obamacare high premiums increasing is not working. We need to work together on a better health care. But once again, there's nowhere put in this big, beautiful bill. Nothing that says you're losing your Medicaid. It's all lies. Now, welcome in all members. Ken Big Fiction. Hello, hello, hello. Appreciate you guys being here on this Monday. We are late. I was watching my Eagles game. Once again, they won. Just like Trump. We keep winning. We keep winning. And that's what Trump is doing. Win, win, win. Low score, high score, it doesn't matter. Trump will continue to win. Let's listen in a little bit more. Who's this? Cory Booker?
Here, next
Another.
year.
What this Senate is about to
Here you
do
go. Look at Bernie
is
Sanders.
make a horrific situation even worse.
There's no way to defend this. And you are right to be angry about it. I'm angry about it.
And some folks in the liberal media want to see Schumer go.
The president is kind of getting what he wanted.
It doesn't feel like a gentleman's agreement. It feels like Lucy in the football.
Now you're going to open the government up, and what did you get in return? Nothing.
Nothing. You lost.
This is the end of Chuck Schumer's legal form.
I think
There you go. End of Chuck Schumer. So what did the Democrat? Let me ask the chat. I'm going to ask you guys. Did the Democrats accomplish anything on this shutdown for 41 days? Did they accomplish anything for the good? Or did they make things worse? Yes or no? Did anything good come out of the 41 days of a government shutdown that the purple states approved reopen? Did anything? No. It got worse. There was people, by the way, we help out the homeless here in Las Vegas. There's more people that were homeless in the last 41 days now because they didn't receive their SNAP benefits. They didn't get their food. So they failed on the Democrats again. I'm out there talking to them. A lot of them are like, it's a mess. These are Democrats. They lost. And these air traffic control, a lot of these new air traffic controls, they're not making the money that the air traffic controls were making for 5 times. So they've lost. They had to go take loans, refinance their house. So how did Democrats help the American people? The answer is no. They failed. Who they really want to help out is the illegals. Come here illegal, give them the Medicaid, and that's why Trump implemented a big, beautiful bill to try to put a dent into many people that are illegal receiving Medicaid. Never said we're taking it away from people. We're going to give it to the American people who need it. And for those that are young or maybe taking advantage of Medicaid, let's implement them to work 20 hours. 20 hours is not a lot of work. If you're 25 years old and you have 2 arms and 2 legs, you can go work 20 hours and still receive your Medicaid. Ladies and gentlemen, it's false. False, fake news from CNN and Chuck Schumer. And SNAP benefits. Again, encourage people to work. So let me ask you this. I bet you the states that didn't get SNAP benefits, I bet you young people, when they got hungry after 4 days, 5 days, and they have a family and kids, beautiful family, I guarantee you they did what? They probably went out and got a job, right? What a shame. The Democrats have lost. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate the donations on here. 100% of these proceeds, as me and my beautiful wife will forward it over to the homeless, like we have a short today. What a beautiful elderly lady, Sherry, homeless, who wanted a conversation. She didn't care about the money, few dollars I gave her, the turkey sandwich, the coffee, the McDonald's. She cared about a conversation. So we forward that over. So thank you for your help. It comes down to us because the government doesn't give a shit. We've seen it. And Trump has got to fight the DOJ, the government, FBI, everybody. Imagine a 79-year-old president boxing it out with everybody, even his own team sometimes. Don't talk better about him. And I'm not saying J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, but a lot of them, they need to come out more and stick together and talk on how well Trump is really doing for this nation. Now, the $2,000 stimulus. Let me get some water. So I hear a lot of YouTube channels, done deal, we're going to get $2,000. That's not good. I hate to knock some YouTube channels, some great channels, but it's, people will believe that. We just don't know. I feel that we're heading in the right direction, and I'll read some comments in a minute. We might get it. We might get 1,000. We might get 2,000. We might not get it at all. Now, the question is, if we do get it, what do we do? What do you do with your $2,000? Do you put a dent in your mortgage, pay off a credit card, put food on your table, put it in the bank, 401k. But at this moment, I think Trump's still deciding. I can tell you this. And this $2,000 that I'm referring to is the money that we've been getting ripped off of for 40, 50 years from other countries. And now the tariffs are definitely working. Some other channels will say it's not working. It's working. Again, it's not enough to remove income tax, but it is working. So we'll have to see. It'd be nice to get a $2,000 before the holidays, before Christmas. A lot of people are still in dire straits, and it can use a $2,000 rebate, tariffs rebate, stimulus, whatever you want to call it. But it's funny how the Democrats are asking for Chuck Schumer, piece of shit, to be removed and fired. Fired. Nancy Pelosi retiring. They need to remove not just the elderly that have been in there for 40, 50 years. They need to remove the party that's not working. And I say that on the Republican side too. If it's not working and they're not helping out with the suits and ties, remove them. And there's a couple of Republicans that need to be removed as well. 100%. This was a waste of a shutdown that Chuck Schumer took it out on our families. All of us. We're all suffering. It's going to take a while. Now, the delays in the airport should recover very quickly. People will now start getting their SNAP benefits. The states had to go into their funding. And Donald Trump will make sure that the states get that money back. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not a shutdown from President Trump. This was a president standing up, not to give in to Chuck Schumer. There was nothing to give in. The big, beautiful bill was not spending in other countries. It is adding to the deficit. But Donald Trump has never said one time on his campaign, I quote, I was not going to add to the deficit. I'm not a big believer that we should add. But again, if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. If you're gonna add to the deficit and spend more money, shouldn't it be spent on the American people? Hybrid cars, no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, good rebates on gas cars, American-made cars, make American products here. So a lot of stuff is for the young, the elderly, the middle, all of us. Not money for other countries, for condoms, Sesame Street, giving money to wars, Ukraine. So at least Trump is trying. Remember that, Democrats. He's trying. And now he's at least mentioning a rebate check. You don't hear Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi or any of them. It's funny, though, how the Democrats are speaking out. They're fighting against each other. It's something that we haven't seen in a long time, right? Because I've always said on our lives, one thing the Democrats do well, only one. They stick together. No more. Once again, 8 Senates voted to open it up. Longest shutdown ever. SNAP benefits, people lost. Delays. But the purple senators from here in Nevada, Jackie Rosen, no, we can't have it. They know. They know people are suffering here. Homeless here is growing and growing rapidly in the last couple of weeks because of this. TSA missing checks after checks. They took the American hostages again. Chuck Schumer, they did it again. They took us as hostages. Does that make sense? They did. They took us as hostages again, ladies and gentlemen. Just like to shut down the pandemic. Or I'm not saying we shouldn't have shut down for a week or two. Same thing. Control. Think about it. Control. They wanted to control us on the shutdown. It went from a week to a month to a year. They don't want to give us anything. Trump says, whoa, 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 you shut down. We're going to give. Right? Sounds like a Democrat. No, he sounds like an American president. And that's where we're at. Trump cares. But once again, old man Bernie, another piece of shit. Socialism. He's got to retire or get fired as well. Another piece of shit. Oh, one more time for coming in. 50,000 people will lose their lives because they will be having no insurance. Lies. Oh, what do? Predict the future? You have tarot cards? How do you know that? How do you know 50,000 people are going to lose their lives over this? It's not, there's no proof. Just another lie. And if you're watching CNN, please turn it off as their network is going down. There's more YouTube channels getting more views than The View and CNN put together. Joe Rogan's getting more views. CNN is done. They're all lies. Propaganda. A cult. Now, I'm not saying Trump is God. I'm not saying Trump is perfect. I'm not saying Trump has all the answers. And I've called them out, particularly yesterday, on trying to work on a better healthcare system. But my goodness, he is trying each and every day, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all you can ask for as a president. Because we haven't had a president try this hard. I can't remember. I guess you could say Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton. But he's trying each and every day. He is one of us. So don't believe the hype. Oh, he's mean, he's this, he's that. He could have opened it up. If he would open that government, he would have gave in and had more Medicaid paid to the illegals and less to us who need it, maybe. Maybe some of you guys on here. So who's to blame? Well, you heard it from the Democrat leaders. They're being split. It was Chuck Schumer. It was Chuck Schumer. And he should be fired. He actually, I'll go a little farther. Well, I won't. But he definitely should be fired. Horrible. Why? Why? Because, not because he hates Trump, because he wants to win illegally with illegals. And by the way, just in case you think they care about illegals, they don't. They're just using them. That's it. Thank you for the donation, Vanilla. Appreciate that. Let me take a second to read it. Could it be possible, be the case, that when people can't afford their insurance, it will most likely to be worse with health economic outcomes for working class people? Thank you for your donation. No. No. Listen. Here's our dilemma. Free has never been proven to work. It will bury us long term, and the taxpayers, us, who pay for it, will absolutely go bankrupt. It's never in many, many years shown. We talked about this yesterday in a mayor back in New York who tried it. Madani is full of shit. He has no proof, no money, free buses, and free healthcare he wants, and building. Who the hell's going to work for free? What we need to work on is a better healthcare system, and I'm hoping that Trump and the Democrats can come up with a long-term solution so the insurance companies can make money, but not rip us off 20 times, so the physicians can do okay, they deserve it, and we can have reasonable premiums and deductibles not to go bankrupt, because people, we have our nut problems, waking up every day in our house, things breaking, health problems, and all this to worry about our premiums and paying health care, particularly people that are self-employed. All right, read some more comments here. Let me get caught up in some comments. Let's see here. 42 million system suckers. Oh, what we got over here? Yeah, there's a lot of different comments on this, but it comes down to reform of Obamacare. That was Nancy Pelosi behind it, and it just doesn't work. It's I've had it. At one time, it was okay. Obamacare is good as if you need it in an emergency, you are finished. you are bankrupt. So it's been proven not to work. So throw that out the window. And the Democrats and Chuck Schumer saying it's going to work, but it's not working. See, and that's what happened. Now they're saying the Medicaid all again lies, because I read the bill. There's nothing in there saying we will taking away Medicaid from American people. Nothing. Just that they're trying to encourage people to work a little bit. That's it. All right, let's listen a little bit more of some of these Democrats.
Chuck Schumer, his days are over.
Chuck Schumer days are over. This is The View.
If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced. All right, we've got to have a great discussion.
Whoa, did I hear that right? Let's go back. Is that The View? Was that The View? Hold on.
And some folks in the liberal media want to see Schumer go.
The president is kind of getting what he wanted.
It doesn't feel like a gentleman's agreement. It feels like Lucy in the football.
Now you're going to open the government up, and what did you get in return? Right. Nothing?
Right.
Nothing? This is the end of Chuck Schumer as we go forward.
I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced. All right, we've got to have a great discussion. Kellyanne, on the day that this began, I said, we know how this is going to end. It will end with the Democrats having a cave because they don't have the votes. And in the end, it does. But Schumer walked himself into this situation. And now, do you think he'll have to go?
Probably.
He got to go.
Minority leader. He's been in politics, Dana, for 50 years, and it's starting.
He's got to go. 50 years.
On day one.
Can anybody in the chat, Democrats or Republicans, say one thing in 50 years that he did good?
That the Republicans offered 35 days
50
before
years.
and were rejected by the Democrats. There's
The View.
They capitulated.
The View is calling them out.
Strategic bankruptcy.
See, the Democrats are split up. Goes back to my beginning of our live.
Schumer's had a terrible week. This was just the capper. His week started.
The
out
Democrats
with
used to
not
stick
even
together. Now it's being split
acknowledging
from moderate Democrats to socialism.
Mandami for
And when you split a party, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to win the House seats. Okay? Not only it's not going to win the House seats, they have no chance of winning the presidency in 28. It's over for a very long time, unless somebody steps up.
Schumer, you also have to realize that this did nothing for the.
This guy, I mean, just look at his face. Look at this guy. Pissed. Pissed. It's not about winning. It's not about losing. It's about helping the Americans. Whiskey Tango, welcome in. Thank you, all my members. Shout out to the moderators tonight. Lemon J, are you all alone on here? But appreciate. If you're new, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Chuck Schumer not looking happy. Not at all happy. Let's listen in the panel. Let's see what the panel has to say.
The crisis in which he is in the center. Because if the entire strategy is get Trump, he just got you. He played you completely. Dana, what I don't understand is the Democrats wanted to die on this hill. It's always the hill for illegal immigrants. First, you lied that the border was secure, and you let in millions and millions and millions of them.
Correct.
They got all kinds of benefits the rest of us can't get. Then you stood there and said, we're going to stop lawful deportations of unlawful people. And now you said we're going to shut down the government to make sure that they get Obamacare subsidies and premiums. And they got absolutely nothing out of it except a headache. If you're Chuck Schumer, you've got to realize this party elected people last week in blue states who never invited Chuck Schumer or Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton to campaign with them. It's a party at odds with themselves. They picked the wrong fight. And I think after 14 CRs going for Joe Biden, they can't turn around and do the same thing for the president. If you're upset, everybody, if you're upset because your flight was canceled, because somebody didn't get a check, you don't know if you're going to get back pay, you only have one party to blame, and it's the Democrats.
I want to get to a bigger picture about the American people with Joey, but let me go to you first, Jessica, about this, because what are you hearing? Is there a serious drumbeat about Schumer leaving, or is that just people airing out their frustration for a day?
It's going to be way more than a day. So you remember what it was like after he voted to keep the government open back in March, and people thought, okay, well, let's kind of see how this goes. And it did feel, actually, surrounding this issue in particular, that the caucus was feeling decent about his leadership. Yes, he was not the number one surrogate out there on the campaign trail, but Democrats were coming off of a very good electoral week. So The big tent was in, full regalia. I was at a liberal conference on Friday, and people were pretty high on the idea that we were winning races, yes, in some blue states, but also in Mississippi and in Georgia. And that, frankly, we were united around the fact that Democrats are the party that cares about people's health care.
She's a Democrat, by the way. This is a Democrat.
And I think the thing that stings the most is that not only the 8 senators who voted for this, but the reporting shows that there are a few more behind the scenes, apparently, that were telling them, please do this for us. We're more vulnerable than you are. Right. And that they didn't think that...
Okay, so you heard, she's a Democrat. So you heard her say this. What's that tell you? If the Democrats are voting to reopen after 41 days, they are supporting the president. They know. See, they're departing. They know there's common sense. President Trump, make MAGA, make America great again. How about common sense? Ladies and gentlemen, this is common sense. We cannot continue to give to illegals. Obamacare is shit. Obama was also shit. Horrible president. Second worst president. Because everybody says Jimmy Carter. Biden committee. Obama / Obama, 2 terms. Horrible. So, and then Jimmy Carter, rest in peace. But horrible. Barack Obama got us into this situation. And Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi, and Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. They got us into this mess. And Trump is trying to take us out. Ending 8 wars in peace. Closing our borders. Making America great again. Giving money to the American people. What is bad about that? What is bad about that? What has he done bad? Okay, he said the F word a few times. Well, he's one of us. Fuck it. He's like us. Just has a lot of money that he's worked for. Just like we can work. We can work and we can do well. Let's stop sitting on our ass and go get it. Now, there's people that are disabled. There's people who are just going through some struggles, divorce, and they deserve Medicaid, SNAP benefits for a while. Maybe longer than a while. But the American dream is what? To continue to fight for our families. To put bread, food on our table. It always would be that way. And continue. Free sounds so good. But long term, it will bankrupt us. And then on the flip side, to give it to people from Venezuela, El Salvador, and Mexico, no. No. So you hear, this is the 5 on Fox, she's a Democrat. They're all saying Chuck Schumer's got to go. Nancy Pelosi's retiring. AOC has no clue. Cory Booker's a piece of shit. Madani has, I'm telling you, I'm calling it here. In 2 years, they're going to ask him to step down. Because these beautiful young people who voted, they don't know any better. Who doesn't even like women. Who's not even born in America. That won't work. Businesses in New York will be crippled. Because they're going to be paying for the free. Yes, small pizzeria places, coffee shops, Jewish, they're going to be paying for all the free buses. Free. Who the hell in the right mind is going to be building homes for free? Bullshit. Would you work for free? No, of course not. It's all bullshit, propaganda. Yeah, he got in. It won't last. It's not the way, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the American way. By the way, happy early Veterans Day. Thank you for all serving men and women, this beautiful country. That's why I'm wearing this military. So without the military and the veterans, we're not even doing this live. We don't have a president. So thank you for keeping this nation safe. As Trump is keeping us safe, continue to make peace, business, strategy, tough, strong, not perfect, trying. And you got Chuck Schumer, loser, 50 years. Has done not one thing right in 50 years. Nancy Pelosi, terrible. Barack Obama, awful. Biden had no clue. No clue. Now, we just reopened. Now, we're not out of the woodwork yet, because you know what? In January, here we go all over again. Hopefully Chuck Schumer's out for those who are coming in. Yeah, January, they go back to the table. Let's hear more what they have to say on the 5, and then we're going to talk more.
You were mature enough to hear that argument out loud, for them to come to us and say, these are the reasons we think we should take this deal. And maybe we should have taken it 3 weeks ago even, but right now I'm hearing from constituents that are hungry. I'm hearing from constituents that cannot get to see their families. I am hearing from furloughed employees. So let's hold Senator Thune to his word. And apparently he and Dick Durbin had a conversation before Durbin, pushed this forward, where Thune said, I assure you, I will bring this vote in December.
Excuse me.
That doesn't guarantee Mike Johnson is going to do it, though. But I understand the celebrating. I feel defeated by this, but Republicans still don't have a health care plan. This election will be about health care. If they are on the record again as not...
Okay, so she's correct on that. So for those who come in, oh, here we go, another mega station. No, we are an American station. So she's correct about that. And I've said this, she must be watching our live. What did I say last night? I just called out the Democrats, but on the other hand, Democrats have lost. They've been losing for a long time. But, and again, Trump is doing everything I just said perfectly. But in the last 30, 40 years, there has been not much talk, except for President Bush. That was probably the only thing he actually did okay. We got to work with all our brain power, Elon Musk and all of them. Can't we come up with a reasonable health care for all that's reasonable? We could keep Medicaid. I'm not saying to remove Medicaid. We could keep Medicaid with work enforcements, disabled, seniors, that kind of stuff, right? What's so hard about that? Making people try to work. And remove Obamacare and then have competition. 3, 4 healthcare providers. Maybe some people need to hire one, can afford it. Maybe some down here who are not eligible for Medicaid, but lower premiums and lower costs. Maybe some of that money that we continue to spend in other countries, we could put in a savings account for you, I, and our families. Why can't we do that? So she is correct about that, in my opinion. The Republicans and Trump and Democrats, both, so she's wrong, both, should work on a healthcare long-term, not short-term. That will work, or work better than what we have. Because 25 years ago, it was okay. It got out of control. Because a family of 4 cannot afford it if something happens. So I agree. She's correct on that. We got to work together. Not just Republicans and Trump, but both sides. All right, I'll read some comments here. It's important. Whiskey Tango, thank you so much for all your donations and the floating heart. Appreciate you. Otherwise, this country will not, we will go bankrupt. It will be destroyed. So yes, we got to work on it. Both sides, both the government cannot be so greedy anymore. And I think Trump's trying to intercept that. I really do. But he needs to come up with something quick. Real quick. Trump rocks. You know, somebody was saying Trump another term. How about we just go Trump forever? You know, I mean, obvious, another Republican, but Trump's name in there somehow. Because I'm saying this, in the next 20, 30 years, if Netflix is still out there, young kids will be looking, oh my, who was that president? He'll go down behind Lincoln, George Washington, Eisenhower. There'll be a movie. Even for you guys, we're going to be old. And I'll say, oh my God. Even the ones that didn't vote for Trump are going to say, Why didn't I be part of that? Why didn't I? They'll be having big movies on Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only round 2. Okay? He has not gotten to round 5 yet. And hopefully in round 5, help struggling people, the homeless, healthcare. But once again, he's moving so quick. There'll definitely be a movie, 100%, on Netflix or whatever's out there at the time. And I believe that some of these Democrats, well, a lot of them might be unalive, but the ones that are young and they're in their 70s and 80s in about 30 years, they're going to be looking, well, they'll probably be Republicans. They're going to be looking back and saying, my goodness, why did I stay with the Democrat? Why didn't I back up Trump? Seriously. It's a Camacho cigar. Trump president forever. Somebody said Trump should be, they should just keep common sense forever. How's that? How about we just say Trump common sense MAGA forever? Even when you have a Democrat president, be in charge like Donald Trump. Be a leader, not a follower. Don't be a follower like the trolls. Never forget that, folks. Be a leader. Whether you're the president, a president of a company, or just working, always be a leader. Don't be a Chuck Schumer. Don't be a Biden. Don't be Barack Obama. Don't just be a good talker like Barack Obama was. You have to be a good talker, but you have to be a leader and do from in here and help out struggling Americans. That's how you win the presidency. And that's why Donald Trump won on a landslide and a one-round knockout. One-round knockout. If it was a fight, he knocked her out. 1 round. And he's continuing to knock him out. Chuck Schumer got knocked out. The View, when you have The View calling out Chuck Schumer, whoa! What's that tell you? They're finished. Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, finished with it. Hollywood movie stars are finished with the Democrat Party. So they're not on their last leg. They have nothing. No legs. It's a shame. It really is. I say it's a shame because you know why? If you're new, appreciate the likes and subscribing. I like competition. Do you guys like competition? You have to have competition. There's no competition anymore. Where the hell's the competition? When you have a shutdown for 41 days and they just voted to reopen. They didn't win shit. In Italian, they won un gabarigats. Nada. Let's see here. J.D. Vance in 28. We'll see. We'll see. I just want common sense. Absolutely, Whiskey Tango. Common sense. It doesn't always have to be perfect because Trump's not perfect, but it's just common sense. When something's not working, like Obamacare, you get rid of it. You remove it. You don't continue with something that's high premiums and taxpayers are paying. It doesn't work. So you remove it. It should have never been a shutdown. And they didn't care about the Democrats. They didn't care about the Republicans. They didn't care about blacks, whites, Hispanics, gays, trans, you name it. All they cared about was themselves. And I think the purple states, like here in Nevada, said, whoa, 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 whoa. It's not working. We got to reopen. It's hurting the middle class. It's hurting, excuse me, the lower income. And we help out the homeless. And just in those 41 days, homeless has rise 3 times more. So look what Chuck Schumer did. in the state of Nevada, Oregon, Chicago, California. More people now were on the last paycheck who didn't get their SNAP benefits are homeless now. Because of why? A man like Chuck Schumer and the Democrat Party that is getting split up. Now, I'm reading the Epstein stuff, and the Democrats never cared about the Epstein, so I don't know, your point. Thank you for the donation. Why didn't Trump haven't end the IRS yet? Income tax, not even close. But he's trying something that Democrats have not tried in a very long time, or Republicans. But there's evidence that the tariffs tax are working. So much that we might, maybe, get some kind of rebate before Christmas. And yes, we call it Christmas because Barack Obama, Biden, Kamala want to take away from saying Merry Christmas. Get the hell out of here. Who the hell are they to tell people take away Merry Christmas? Columbus. See, that's why they keep losing. No common sense. All right. It's Christmas. Should always be Christmas. Even my Jewish friends, Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, always. And they try to take that away. The world was upside down with Biden and Obama. Man, they made it upside down. Thank God Trump is with us, huh? And for those who say no one cares, get off your ass and go to work. Because those people who are saying those comments are lazy people. Lazy. Get off your ass and go to work for a living. And do something you enjoy. That's right. Soldiers. Yep. Happy Veterans Day. Early Veterans Day. To all our veterans, men and women who fought for this beautiful country. Some interesting comments. Some debatable comments. And just some lazy comments. Here we go with the Epstein again. Gotta love it, huh? Epstein files. Democrats didn't do a damn thing on that either. That's why they lost. Yep, happy Veterans Day. Yes, Maribel, some crazy comments. That's okay. Don't pay him any mind. That's what Trump needs to do a little bit better. He's biting into some of the trolls out there, like late night TV. Who the hell watches late night TV? Anybody watch their views on late night TV? Is there more Johnny Carson, City Hall, David Letterman? Why the hell is he calling out late night TV? Trump, listen to me. Don't pay him any mind. Tucker Carlson has more views than all of them put together. Joe Rogan as well. Just some of them. Late night TV, what the hell is late night? Who the hell watches late night TV? People are on YouTube. People are watching YouTube channels. or I love Lucy. Trump is the president. Respect it. You like it or not, he's the president. I love it. From our loyal subscriber. Damn right. Trump won, like the flag says. Get over it. But you know what? You should be happy that he won. Farmers love Trump. I have farmers in my family. They all like Trump. And some are Democrats. Here we go with the farmers and Epstein. That's all you have? That's all you have is farmers, Epstein. Epstein farmers. MAGA. How many MAGA we have in here? Or if you're MAGA, put it in the chat. That means you're an American. That you have trust. Common sense. If you're MAGA. There we go. Here's some MAGA. Oh, somebody said F MAGA. Are you guys going to put up with that? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I trust America. Yeah, me too. Me too. MAGA here. Any more MAGA? That's all we have is 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, there we go. Hey, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining on a late night live here. Once again, my name is Sal. Appreciate it. We help out the homeless on here. We're going to continue help out homeless people, homelessness, mental illness here in Las Vegas. American first, love it. Love that comment. Here's some MAGA. Make America great again. What a wonderful thing. And Chuck Schumer, he's not making America great again, is he? He's destroying. He destroyed 41 days. Make people on the streets homeless. Air traffic control not receiving checks, taking out loans, messing up flights, people stressed out enough, visiting families that are ill, trying to get back. They got enough stress. And they got to worry about a flight being delayed. Not for a storm, because we're short on air traffic control. Thank you for that donation. Appreciate it. People need to accept that facts of politics views aren't perfect and always be a double-edged sword that you either agree or not. Thank you. Great comment. And thank you for that donation. Beautiful comment, actually. So well said. So well said. Love that comment. Trump our king. Trump is our president who's doing amazing things. And it's only round 2. Round 2 of 12 rounds. He hasn't even been president for a year. American first. Damn right. It should always be American first. It should never be about Trump, a Democrat, Republican, or whoever. Chuck Schumer. See, Chuck Schumer, it's all about Chuck Schumer. Thank you, Maribel. Oh, here we go with Argentina again. That's all you have is Argentina and farmers and Epstein? That's all you have? Come on. You're better than that. You know that. You got more than that. How about taking away the submarines in Venezuela? Each submarine we take down, keeping people alive from narcotics and fentanyl. Richard, thank you. Appreciate it. The GOAT trophy. Thank you. The GOAT. Appreciate it. Trump. Not Tom Brady. Did you hear Trump talk on NFL, Fox? Huh? Calling out, speaking, calling the plays in football, enjoying sports. Huh? What a great president. What a great leader. Thank you for all the likes. Once again, if you're new, We are live every day. Well, we take a break off every now and then for a break. I don't know what you're waiting for. Like and subscribe. And we're able to forward these donations over to the homeless, fight homeless here in Las Vegas. And we got more bigger and better things that we're going to accomplish. And I don't ask if they're a Democrat or a Republican. In fact, I'll go a little farther. I've said this many times. I don't ask them if they're illegal. Even though I don't support it, I feed them. Vanilla, thank you. Is there anything Trump has done that you disagree? Yes. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And I love the comment. Yes. If you're new, I've called out Trump. Sometimes I call him out, and I believe MAGA will go on to another channel because I am American. I called him out. He had a fumble. Eagles fumbled the ball tonight on the Epstein files. Oh, you had to bring that up. I think the more he talked about the Epstein files, the worse it was because there was no proof that he was on there or even Clinton. I think he fumbled it with Pam Bondi. But again, he's not perfect, but a hell of a lot better than what we had the last president and Obama. Hell of a lot better than Clinton and Reagan put together. Yeah, I disagreed. I also sometimes I will wish he would explain things to the American people a little bit better. You know, maybe slow down a little bit. I'm just a YouTube channel. But yeah, I've called him out and disagree on some of the things. I think he needs to work on the healthcare and like the what they said on the host here. Yeah. I have no problem because I call myself out. So yeah. Yeah, Trump's not perfect. I've never said he was. But he's doing a lot of great things for the American people. With a couple bumps and fumbles every now and then. But not many. Look what he's doing with Ukraine and Russia. Continue to try to make peace. And made peace in ending 8 wars. So, all right, let's move on. Look, the Epstein files have been released. They're out there. DOJ, Pam, they're out there. They fumbled it a few times, both sides. But they're out there. It might not be what you want to hear because you're expecting a president on there, right? Or a senator. And there might be. But they're out there. The Democrats had 4 years to expose the Epstein files. And if there was any kind of proof that Trump, forget about Trump hanging out with him, friends and stuff, but if there's any proof that he was at the island or did anything with massages or Bill Clinton or anybody, it'd be out there from them, right? It was never happening. So enough with the Epstein. I will say it's sad because some of these young ladies, they're now older women, deserve the right information, but it's over. Can't get this cigar to light. The Democrats are finished, folks. If you're a Democrat, it's being split. And Chuck Schumer just put the icing on the cake. He blew it. If there was any chance, well, they didn't have much chance before this, but if there was any chance for them to win the House in 26, they just blew it by shutting down the government. And the purple decided to reopen 8 votes. And you got The View and panels on Fox and CNN calling out Chuck Schumer to resign. Fired. Calling him out, Bernie Sanders out. So that tells me the party's all split up. So they're finished. And they're right. Not only they're finished today, tomorrow, for a long time. For a long time. Absolutely, Maribel. Great comment. Term limits and age. Yeah, I agree on that. I agree on that comment. There's no reason why people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi combine 90 years together, 50, 40 years. Come on. So, yes, I agree on term limits on both sides. Absolutely 100%. There should be term limits. Age, I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of people with energy like Trump that could be 79 years young and still be productive and run a country. So, age, I don't know. Term limits, yes. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, Trump has energy. He's the last person to go to sleep and the first person to wake up. He's playing chess and he's 8 moves ahead. Not 2, 8 moves ahead. We don't see it all, what he's doing. Okay? We don't see it all. He's smart with energy. Richard, what's going on, Richard? Thanks for being here late on a Monday. Trump, president forever. Absolutely 100%. J.D. Vance, Trump. Marco Rubio, Trump. Trump. He saved our ass. Even if you didn't vote for him. All right, I'm going to read a few more comments here. That makes sense. Or make half sense. Why do you want a dictator? Next question. Why are you attracted to Trump? He's good looking. Come on. Where are you guys? Where are you? I'm glad it's his last year, somebody said. Does anyone else agree with that? Anyone else?
Wanting to extend these ACA subsidies that mostly benefit their own voters, that is something that Democrats will be very willing and able to run on in 2026, and that'll spell electoral disaster for them. So it's not as if they're fully out of the woods here.
And she's a Democrat.
I was thinking about you earlier because I feel like you have your finger on the pulse of people. You fly a lot. You're back and forth a lot.
I do fly a lot.
And so the pain became so acute over this past week. And
bro, just get a job. Do you have one for me?
You also had military people who were not getting paid. They were having to go to the food banks, for example. There's a lot of people that were dealing with this where the members of Congress continued to get paid. And I think there's
they had to go to food banks.
About how Congress continues to, I don't want to use Lucy with the football because we might use it 5 times in this segment. But it does feel very disappointing for people who already don't like politics.
No, you're right. I think that just the stress and anxiety of should I go on this flight. I think a lot of people didn't have the anxiety of missing a flight because they just decided not to go. They decided not to take the trip. It's not just Veterans Day tomorrow. Today's the Marine Corps birthday, and it's a big deal to all those Marines around the country that want to go to a ball or travel to a ball. So that was kind of how I felt it in my sphere of influence. And happy birthday, Marines! A lot of
happy birthday, Marines! Anybody a Marine?
And probably have been since yesterday. But
a veteran thing, put it on here.
28 million people on Obamacare. So, I mean, that's not a majority of the country. Is it enough people that Republicans are going to lose seats over it? I don't know. I think at this point, the Democrat play is to leave Republicans with the hot potato, right?
He's right.
Republicans aren't going to extend a bad Band-Aid for a bad law. The question is, if everyone on ACA needs a subsidy,
God bless you, William. God bless you, my friend. Thank you.
Well, it isn't.
At least affordable
as it exists.
Thank you. Every day.
As it exists today. But if Republicans, if
love
all
Trump,
we have
love
is
the
John
hearts,
McCain holding a thumb down
love
as a response to it, then neither party
shout
has
out to
an
my
answer
wife.
to it, and then it becomes a debate. I think the one thing the Democrats got out of this whole thing was to elevate
love the hat. Thank you.
That affects less than 28 million people.
Great hat, huh?
To a national
mess up the hair
conversation, because I was on the phone with someone that works on this, and most of those subsidies stay in effect in different ways. So it's not like it.
Government shutdown, all for nothing. 41 days. for nothing. What did they accomplish? Shit. They did nothing. They hurt the American people again. They had to go to food banks. They had to depend on people like us helping out, struggling. They did nothing. They crippled air traffic control. There's people who won't be able to go back. They did nothing to help. If they did something that would help, I would have said, okay. I'd still be upset, but I'd be, well, they accomplished something. Maybe they were working on another health care. Here's what they should have done. Here's what the Democrats should, well, here's what both of them should have done. Go Birds. Damn right. We keep winning like Trump. Here's what they should have done. They should have worked on removing Obamacare and coming up with something to Donald Trump, say, hey, I got something here that's better than Obamacare. What do you think? And I'm sure Donald Trump would have said, whoa, that's what they should have been doing. But no, they just, day after day, you see Chuck Schumer, we will not tolerate Donald Trump and taking away benefits. And Bernie Sanders saying 50,000 people will lose their lives because they won't have it. You have a crystal ball? You read the tarot cards? No. They just kept on fighting and lost a fight to the American. And we suffered. People suffered. So they did nothing. All for nothing. Right? All for nothing. What did they accomplish? Nothing. That both sides should have been working on a health care. That's what they should have been doing. So I call it as it is, guys. Both sides should have had their Starbucks coffee, a few cigars, and worked on helping the American people going forward. But instead, they did nothing. And they'll get paid. They'll get reimbursed, the TSA and air traffic control. But why put all that stress? All that stress to them and their family. People who didn't get their benefits and snaps. Why? And they care? Let me ask you guys this. Do the Democrats care for the American people? Yes or no? Maybe I have it wrong. They care? Think they care? Think they care about you? Let me tell you this. Should we rewind? Should we go back to the pandemic? Remember the pandemic? Oh, how can we forget? If they cared, Nancy Pelosi kept on going down on stimulus. Donald Trump says, you shut down? Stimulus. You shut down? Implement PUA. Unemployment. Self-employed people. Let's do it. Democrats, they didn't care. They didn't care. Oh, they care about themselves. I don't even think they care about their families. Not all of them, but a lot of them. No, they don't care. They haven't cared since Bill Clinton. That was the last hurrah of the moderate, quote unquote, Democrat Party. It's finished until somebody has enough balls to make it better. When I say make it better, work for the American people. How's that? What about make it better? Work for the American people. Let's say it. Work for the American people. That's what both sides should be doing. Thank you, Lemon Jane. Thank you for being here, you and Richard. If I missed any other moderators, I apologize. I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 138 likes. Thank you so much. Thank you for the donations. Boy, I love Trump. Me too. Me too. Democrats are done, son. Yeah, they've been done. They were done. They gave Barack Obama a chance. They're finished. Screwed us with this Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. It's bullshit. I should know. I tried it. Where's my wife? I tried it. It didn't work. It works if you don't use it. But once, God forbid, you need it, you're shit out of luck. And they know that. Obamacare. Give me a break. Obama was a salesperson. I'll give him that. He was good on the internet. That's all he was. What a mess he started. Don't ever forget the shitstorm that he did. What a piece of shit he was. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate the $5 donation. Politicians should not be, allowed to trade in the stock market, Nancy Pelosi, and should get paid what the lowest end of the middle class makes here. What a great comment. What a high five fist bump. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for the donation. So true. So true. Thank you. It's the right comment. They don't want to work for the American people. They used to, again, in the Clinton years. Love or hate them. But it all changed with Barack Obama. Are you wearing orange makeup? Yes. Yes, I just bought it. How's it look? Get some water. Great comment, yeah. They all come out. Billionaires, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, she was lucky in the stock market. 2 weeks prior to COVID, she pulled her money out. And Bill Gates. Bullshit. Oh, she was lucky. She knew what she was doing. Bullshit. She knew what the hell she was doing. She was getting her hair done. She was the one who said, oh, you women, all my women on here, where's all my females? Oh, you can't get your hair colored. You can't go to the hairdresser. Meanwhile, she was on news. She was going to her hairdresser. What a piece of hypocrite, piece of shit, Nancy Pelosi. She's not a real Italian, ladies and gentlemen. She's a fake Italian. Freshly Wow, where the hell you been? Good to see you, Freshly Wow. Thank you. Shout out to our loyal subscriber, Freshly Wild. Thank you. And those are facts. Can't go to church. Can't do this. Can't do that. If she was going to her hairdresser, she had no problem getting her hair done. God bless her. Meanwhile, they were trying to make a fine if you did. They were putting people, open up gyms. They were putting them in jail. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. What a joke. They were trying to take charge of us. We'll never forget that. And I think that's another reason that Trump won too. Along with many, many other ways. What is going on here? Chuck Schumer, possibly Democrats in The View, asking him to step down. Nothing was accomplished. Nothing. That's what's going on. Thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Thank you. Not unappreciated. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for the gift. 6 times. Nice. Appreciate that. Thank you for help sponsoring today's live on behalf of all of us. It helps us continue to fight homelessness here in Las Vegas. Thank you. 6, 7 times. Wow. Forget about 8 times. 9 times. 10 times. Thank you so very much. Very nice of you. Very thoughtful of you. We'll make sure we can continue each and every day helping out the homeless here in Las Vegas metropolitan area. Because we don't ask them if they're Democrats, but us MAGA will go out and help out. 41-37, back and forth over here. Forget about it. Thank you. Overwhelmed. Appreciate it. Very, very nice. 65, 60. Look at this. They're competing. Props. Very, very nice. Overwhelmed. Thank you for doing that. And once again, happy Veterans Day. Veterans Day. God bless our vets, men and women, fighting for us each and every day so we can be here and live an American dream. 138, 140, 143. JB Blank. La Rafi, thank you. My pronunciation is not, thank you. 160, 171 times, and it's not stopping. Like the battery commercial back in the day. Just keep on going. Thank you so much. Stop it. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the likes for everybody to help these lives and help out the homeless here. 197, 195. Thank you, both of you. Appreciate it. Much love. Yeah, we really appreciate it. We can continue, me and my wife, and continue to help struggling people. I was going to say is we help all people, you know. There's all types of addictions out there, mental illness, and we need to work on that as well. And once again, Trump is working his ass off trying to resolve that as well. Have physicians, psychiatrists. Why not help on people? We need to help out our Americans, right? Help your neighbor. That's what we should do. Not ask them if they're a Republican. Not ask them if they're a MAGA or a Democrat. But I'm here to help. And I've seen a lot of that. Not just in here. I see a lot of people, churches and YouTube and just the average people, neighbors, helping out people in these last 41 days. A lot of special people. You know who you are, helping out. That's what we got to do, because we can never depend on the government. Right? We should never. So not just on Christmas or special occasions. Struggling times, we should help out our neighbors and less fortunate. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Thank you for the donation, Jacqueline. Thank you. Congratulations. And thank you all members. Appreciate all the memberships as well on here. As we're able to pass it forward, like the lady Sherry we seen today. What a special, beautiful elderly lady. You know, on the streets, dirty. She just wanted a conversation. I mean, she liked a few dollars, and I gave her some McDonald's and a turkey sub. And I said to her, maybe it was a big sub. You want to share it maybe with somebody? Boy, I had a tear in my eye when I left that lady. I absolutely will share. They're human. Her struggling. So, we really got to work on that. Lemon J, thank you for being here on this late night live. Late night live. A lot of Trump supporters. A lot of people just believing in the right way and common sense on here. And of course, you have the other part where people disturbed, don't like Trump. Trump is a hero. He is. Oh, thank you so much. Look at this. Rafi, thank you so much. Thank you. Love you, my friend. Thank you so much for help sponsoring today's live. That means a whole lot. Thank you. God bless you. You make tomato soup jealous. That's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Hello. And if you're new, like and subscribe. If you feel comfortable, let us know where you're coming in from, what state and city. You look like Trump, somebody. Yeah, I do. Yeah. We can We could part it to the side. We can go all up like this. You know, we can mess it up. Chuck Schumer, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Nancy Pelosi, see ya. Don't let the door hit you. AOC, you don't know what you're getting into. Madani, are you legal? Give me a break. Where'd they come from? They're all going to be finished. 154 likes. Thank you, Maribel. You're one of those likes. With Lemon J. Newsome, 28. You think so? Thank you for all the great donations, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. MAGA, Kagan. Democrats and Republicans suck, somebody said. Somebody said both suck. Congratulations to Mayor Madani, somebody said. How are you doing, Sal? Doing okay. Eagles won. Democrats lost. And I have a cigar. I'm alive. What can be bad? They made a fool of themselves, Maribel. Shut down for 41 days. So, yeah, I'm doing good. Trump and Obama are not the same. Not even close. Because you have one who's a leader, smart, one of us, talks good, and you have another who's a salesperson who is horrible. So not even close. Okay? So I disagree on that. But thank you for the comment. Barack Obama and Trump are the same? Where are the mods? Well, we got Lemon J on here. Richard. A lot of them might be sleeping. You know? Someone got to work in the morning. Thoughts on LGBTQ? Beautiful people. We have them on here. Trump supporters. Some aren't Trump supporters. Yeah, people, some people go to sleep early. Make election day a holiday? Go to sleep, Maribel. 2:30 over there in Puerto Rico. 2:30. It's already Veterans Day in Puerto Rico, back east. I say everybody should vote in person unless they're disabled, and vote on election day. And for those who are disabled, have ID me and go correctly. That'll solve a lot of. That's what Trump wants to do. Yeah. We should not have mail-in ballots. Never. Doesn't work. Trump, somebody said Trump wants to golf. Sure, so why not? All presidents should have a hobby or play golf. What's wrong with that? Next question. J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk. Oh, you mean the hug they had together? It's passion. It's common sense, right? Is that what you're alluding to? The hug? Oh, you're saying, or I don't know. I don't know how to take it. Or you're saying that it was more than that. He hugged her. He cares. Right? Isn't that what we do? Whether you're a vice president or president or whatever, governor, whatever. He hugged her. He felt for her. Don't we feel for people in loss? Isn't that the American? I mean, what do you want me to say? Oh, I know. People were saying there was more than that. Bullshit. There was nothing more than a hug for Karen. For somebody who's hurting. For a husband who was trying to speak to young people, all people, love people, and give and speak faith. What's wrong with that? Right? I don't judge. If you don't believe, that's fine. He was out there speaking. I didn't agree on all his stuff. Because she was hurting. And he's there to give her love, support from the vice president. Something that a previous administration committee did not do. Right? So. There's nothing wrong with that. Emotions. Don't you have something better else to do? No, I don't. Get a job or something. You have one for me? Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. We got 162 likes. Thank you so much for the donations. Appreciate all your support. I'll give everybody about 2-3 minutes for those who are interacting with each other. Maybe you were debating back and forth. I don't know. Or maybe you're shaking hands, high five, fist bump. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to say their goodnights. We love Trump. We love America. We support common sense. The Democrats lost. Chuck Schumer should be fired. You're hearing it from The View. You're hearing it from the party. He screwed Americans again on a shutdown for 41 days. Hurt many, many Americans. Increased homelessness. Disrupted Americans from flying. Stress on Americans. Probably caused people to go to the hospital. It was a mess. And now it's reopened at least until January. But once again, Trump won. Trump won. Schumer and the Democrats have lost. And it shows that the Democrats are really for Trump. Although they won't come out and say it, but they know we have a leader. And one of the best presidents in our lifetime. And probably go down as one of the best ever. And it'll be a Netflix movie 30 years from now. People will sit down, having their coffee from Starbucks, if we have Starbucks, and saying, wow. Babies that are born tomorrow. They'll be saying, wow, who was that guy? Who was he? He was one of us who fought for us, and the only president, aside from Lincoln and George Washington and Eisenhower, and a few others who fought for the American people, for what's right, not what's wrong. For health insurance and Medicaid for people that are struggling here in America, not in other countries. To implement people to try to work, to receive the Medicaid, not take it away. For people who ending peace and wars, closing the borders. Men not playing in women's sports. The American way. Not free like Madani and Bernie Sanders and AOC, Pocahontas, and a lot of other ones. Not trying to use illegals coming here like they care about them. That CNN doesn't show you on how many people have lost their lives to trying to get in. They didn't care about the illegals. They didn't care about us. They don't care about nobody but themselves and making money, like somebody said earlier. So with that said, Donald Trump and the Republicans won again. And thank you. And now let's open up and fight on a better healthcare system and helping out the Americans. God bless Donald Trump. God bless you and your family. Thank you all for your support. Like and subscribe. We'll be on again live. God bless. Have a great night. Take care. See you on the next live. Check out the shorts. We'll be out there feeding the homeless again tomorrow. That's what we do. We take care of them. Even the ones that are here illegal, I oppose, but we help them out. We don't want anybody to starve. Take care. God bless. Have a good night.